And we are recording with the one and only Clay Martin, PhD, on Monday, May 1st, 2023 at 2:26 p.m. Eastern Time. Click on the red button. That's local. Support the podcast or buy some merch, you dirty commies. A lot of people don't know this, but Clay went to Yale for undergrad. He went to Harvard Medical School. He did his residency at UCSF Medical School, which is the Harvard of the West Coast. And he did his fellowship at the Mayo Clinic. He then became a Green Beret. A lot of people think that's where it ended, but Dale was actually Billy Waz, not Dale. Clay was actually Billy Waz handler in a CIA ground branch, and he has since gone deep undercover, and now he does podcasts like this. And a lot of people don't know that. They think Clay just writes books and great books that will all be in the description. A lot of people think Clay's just a joker sending out memes. He is Clay's QAnon. I just figured let's break it here.
It's right. It's time. Patriots unite. It's time that we came out and just said the thing.
It's trust the plan, guys. Trust Clay.
Where we go to, we go everybody, whatever.
It doesn't matter what it is. The real fucking Patriots go buy a book. That's what this whole thing is. The plan is to get Clay. We have to get Clay as Amazon bestseller, and then the plan can commence. That's when Hillary will go to get Mao.
Oh Jesus, I got to tell you a Q story.
Okay, let's do it.
So it's funny actually when Concrete Jungle came out was the summer 2020. That's when all the Q shit was like still plat. Trump's still in office, shit. And man,
it's happening now, Patriots.
I was trying to get that fucking book out, right? Because like the stuff was going on, and I didn't have any money, so I actually just picked like an Amazon cover. Like it's like an option, like when you self-publish a book, is like you just pick one of the random ass things. Well, I'm looking at it one day, and it's some bullshit like this, and it's like it looks like a bullet hole in like concrete or something. It's all shattered. I'm like, no fucking way. So I take a piece of chalk and I draw a Q in it, and fucking tweeted that shit out. And somebody,
God damn it, Clay.
Had a couple. There was Q codes and concrete. Bro, sales. It
really?
Was, yeah, it was insane. I was like,
okay.
I was like, there's no fucking way.
And yeah, then you start to commiserate a little more with people that you used to say like that guy sold his soul, and then you're like, no, homie's getting paid.
Right. The page numbers are a code.
Yeah, I'm like, go.
I don't know. You got to cut it up.
Yeah. No. The more I would always used to. I joke now that like if I ever like met PewDiePie or Mr. Beast, I'd be like, your content sucks, and they'd pull you aside and they go, yeah, I fucking know that. And all of a sudden I'd be like, oh wait, this guy's also reading like a history of the CIA. He's like, I love your podcast, all the interviews you do. He's like, I'm just not dumb enough to do it. I understand that you're not going to make money. You're pigeonholing yourself. People want to see bright thumbnails, and they want to see a Lamborghini covered in fucking oatmeal or something. I think that's the red pill you'd get is you go, yeah, they pull you aside and go, yeah, I know my content's brain dead, but I'm putting my kids through university. And you're like, oh, they're like, I got a compound out in the woods. I'm ready for the collapse. And I'm like, oh.
It's like the old joke that like either 80s metal guys or modern day like rappers, like they actually go home and speak with an English accent and have like a butler and you're having teaching. Like they're all Oxford educated and shit. Like,
yeah.
Let's put the gold teeth in, James. And
put it in. They're like, yeah, I'll fucking lean in my drink. And at home, they're like, no. They're like, Shakespeare wasn't for the common man. A lot of people think that. He actually brought about iambic pentameter. And there's good song.
Original Greek. It's so much.
You can find the true angst in Plato's work that doesn't come across. They're like, I agree that, then they fucking go do a TMC video where it's just like, yeah, man, I got this fucking bitch and just, I don't know, putting a Glock in her pussy or something. Like, and I look at that and then I think, well, now who's the idiot? Me?
Right. Yeah, no, that's exactly fucking right.
It's a very humbling moment where you go, I'm the idiot. Nobody wants to hear about a fucking history of satellite reconnaissance. What am I doing? It's QAnon. Where we go? Speaking of my own descent, and as I lose my grasp on reality, I did find a sticker in my apartment the other day. That must have been from something I ordered from Amazon, but I put it on my water bottle. I don't know why, but it's just a Q.
No, come on. Holy shit, no, dude. No.
And this is part of me is like, is this the moment in the dream where you start to wake up and you go, oh, this is me. This is as I start to lose my grasp on reality. Like, do I need to go check myself into an asylum? Is is the paradigm of reality I knew. Is it starting to kind of slip away? And I don't know. Um, and on I think the last episode you and I did kind of the same introduction. I was just like, Clay is a fellow at Brookings. You do fucking research at MIT. Like somebody commented who I guess hadn't watched like any of the episode or knew nothing about you. And they're like, the bio's interesting that he was in SF, but they're like, he sounds like a swamp creature. He sounds like deep state. Brookings is no good.
My God, holy shit, no,
Yeah, I was
dude.
just like, I was
Oh,
like,
you gotta be careful these days. Like the thing when I did the Q book cover, I was like, oh shit. I was like labeled for a while. Like next thing I know, like the Q fucking fruits are like all over my
they'll
title
find
and
you.
shit.
They'll find you.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, there's a very fine line you got to walk.
Oh, yeah, dude, especially with the fucking fruits, man. You wake up with like somebody standing in your bedroom holding a calculator and
Oh yeah,
what the fucking code to the compound's like.
yeah. Oh no, it'll start to get you where I honestly not entirely because nothing's black and white. Um, there's a crime statistics joke in there, but like nothing's there's nothing black and white, but it does almost make you a little more sympathetic to people that say like this is a baseless conspiracy. When you start to wade into the water, because I always look at things, I'm like, no, there are provable conspiracies.
You're right.
Gulf of Tonkin, the business plot, like these are all things that like there were interests, and so I'm always quick to defend conspiracies. But then you meet people who go into conspiracies about people I know and have interviewed.
Mhm.
Not even like people I think I know. I mean,
Yeah,
these are guys that like we shoot the shit for a couple minutes before the podcast. Like I
right.
know for a fact they're not working for Klaus Schwab. They're trying to sell their Kindle book. And then you start to go, oh, there probably are people being incorrectly targeted about
Oh, dude, there's no
conspiracies.
question. There's no question. You get to one or two ends of that spectrum. You either get to like the crazy, crazy nut job, like everything has to be a conspiracy, and those people who believe like
Anything.
Alex Jones is that dead comedian, like all this other crazy
Bill
shit.
Hicks, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's Bill Hicks, and fucking Elvis, walking them, whatever. And the flip side of that is, I do believe the longer I'm around this earth that a lot of like the lizard people kind of dudes, especially the more popular ones, shit. I think they do actually get funded by somewhere to make
Sure.
to make all the conspiracy stuff look
Looks like
nothing.
shit. Yeah, look like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. If you bundle all that shit together, like, oh, well, clearly some of this is fucking nonsense. But yeah, it obscures everything. It's a good move.
No, I mean, it's again, they're evil, but I mean, you have to respect your enemy. It's tactically a great move.
Yeah, well, oh, dude, absolutely. For that matter, man, I believe there's a distinct possibility that Q actually was run out of language, but not for the reasons people think.
I think it is. For a while I thought it was just it's too well put together to be
Uh,
some retards on 4chan.
Here was the thing, though. Here was the thing that got me back to it because people, when that shit was first happening, people would call me all the time because I got a background. Like, hey, man, is this? And, I looked, and it took like 10 minutes to be like, fuck no. But think about how hard that sidelined millions of people because they always had the
From
closing.
getting involved in anything.
Just decipher the code. We have the army of good guys, the fucking Whitehead, and they're handling shit. So you stay home on the couch and
You,
like decipher the
you
bullshit.
do nothing.
Do nothing. We got this. We got this. Stay home. We got this. And it did, man. It kept, arguably maybe not our most intelligent, but I mean, millions of people that are, otherwise functional adults, like completely fucking sidelined. I would say easily the thing was popular as fuck, man. Easily 5 to 10 million people just laser like focused and not watching all this real crazy shit that was happening.
My buddy, I don't know, you might know him. I don't know. Don the Pleb, he's former Marine, did a couple tours. I fucking love Don, but brilliant guy who eventually Don went Don fully Don walked the full simulation of like starting a podcast, talking about like a Marxist takeover back in 2015, eventually becoming blackpilled and realizing no one cared, and just went and moved out into the middle of Texas and just raises chickens now. And I'm like, he's got like a line of sight out to 1,000 yards with a ton of ammo, and I'm like, he went the full way. He just went, you're all idiots. Peace. Taking care of my wife, my son, and like my one of my other Marine buddies. fuck all y'all. Like
And these 10,000 chickens. That's it.
and Don has taken all of the red pills, and he's just like, no one cares, and like I respect that. But he talked about, and it's something I never knew about until Don pulled it up, was Operation Trust. There was literally something called Operation Trust. I think it was in the 20s or 30s by the Soviet Union. And it was seeped out there. I'm not making this up, to all the resistance fighters to just wait, because there is a secret cabal of good guys fighting the Bolsheviks in power.
No fucking way.
Google it, Operation Trust.
Dude, I'm writing myself a note
And
right
so
now.
not only were people who would do something doing nothing, a lot of people fell for it, and they would go one step further, and they'd be like, you can come back to like Moscow or something and get like assigned. And so guys were coming back, and then they were just, brought into Lubyanka prison and shot in the head. Operation Trust. So when you I always try to look at things as like, what is just what happens in physical space and time. That's how I just always look at, forget what anyone's saying, what is happening in physical space and time. If I start to convince myself that it's okay to go to the gym a little less and eat a little more, and I can, your mind weaves the bullshit, like, you should relax a little more, and then I'm always like, what is the net result of this? Is I'm gaining weight and I'm losing muscle. No, but it's for your no. You can dress it up however you want. What is actually happening here? If I convince myself to, I just do a couple less podcasts. So what is the net result? I'm not growing as much. I'm not making as much. That's just what it is. It doesn't care. It has no opinion. It's just a fact.
Yep.
What is the net result of us being involved in Ukraine? Well, it's Azov. No. Forget everything. What is happening? There's U.S. armament close to Russia, and we're making money. Everything else is makeup. What is physically happening on this planet, in the coordinates that we call Ukraine, there are metal machines and human beings. And that presence is creating money for defense contractors here. Everything else, white or black, Azovs, Russians, doesn't matter. That's what's happening. So what is physically occurring in the three-dimensional chessboard that we live on through QAnon? No one's getting involved in their local politics, school boards, anything.
Yep.
It's just what it is.
They're certainly not like storming the Bastille or organizing their shit that they could. They are sitting at home waiting on the secret army of good guys to because Trump's actually going to go to jail, but he's really going to be president from in jail, and that's how they're going to find out.
He still is president. You fucking non-believer. You fucking godless heathen. He has the nuclear codes. What's wrong with you, Clay?
What's wrong with you?
Now, I will be the first to get on my knees and suck my own dick if QAnon is real. I will come out here and I'll do a 12-hour live cast where I interview everyone that I've ever had on that made fun of. If Q takes over and Delta Force takes out the fucking White House and Trump comes up and some continuity of government's been going on since the stolen election, I'll stand right here and go, I'll fucking put on a bra and makeup and say, I'm a little pig slut. I'm sorry. I will. I have no problem with being humble. I'll have Clay on here. I'll have Joe Kent on here. I'll have Don the Pleb on here. And we will all sit here and we'll apologize. I will.
I'm not the only one that thinks. I've had that same thought. I'm like, do you know how fucking, one, relieved, two, I would feel like a total fucking dumb, but I would own it. I would fucking own it. Like,
I'd own it 1,000%.
Fuck, man. This is what happened. Donald Trump really was the president from Leavenworth. My bad.
I'll be like, I'll be goddamn. I'll just start on here. I'll come on one day and be like, so I owe a lot of people an apology. I'll have the news behind me, and it's like live from the White House, and it's like Biden being brought out in cuffs, like
with the lizard face. Yeah, his mask
lizard face. A bunch of Delta Dales out there. Fuck, they got their nods flipped up, and I'm just like, I'll be fucking god. I'll be goddamn.
Fucking Hillary walking down the fucking ramp in Gitmo in a jumpsuit, like, holy fuck.
I will. A bunch of actors come out and pull off the skin masks, and it's like Biden was actually fucking whatever. Robin Williams, he's not dead. Kobe was executed because he was a pedophile or something. I'll be like, huh, all right. I, all right.
I'm
And
gonna go home and reevaluate my decision making dynamic.
I need to go reevaluate everything.
Maybe I'm not as fucking crafty and smart as I thought.
I'm gonna call Charlie Duke, who I've interviewed before, who walked on the moon. And I'm gonna be like, I need some answers, man. Did you really go there or not? Because I've been defending you for a long time. I'll call Dr. Malone and be like, are viruses real? Because everyone, I'll be like, this is bullshit. But you did say a point in there that is, I think, important to note is I'd be relieved. And so when I make fun of QAnon, it is I would love for QAnon to be real, and not because it's the Republicans win. No, no, I've thought about it, and there actually is a philosophical nugget in there. What that would actually do is it's like when I don't know, it's when you finally start losing weight and you realize it's not this unbeatable machine. You go, if
Yeah.
you do get rid of processed carbs, and you should be not starving, but you're going to be kind of just uncomfortable around the clock. You're always going to kind of be hungry, right?
Yeah.
Not starving, but like right now, I could absolutely go for a sandwich.
Yep.
Okay, and then you start watching the scale, and you go through plateaus and peaks and valleys, but you start losing weight, and you start to feel a little more in control, and you go, oh, it's not just that you're not 18 anymore, and your no, 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 that's a pussy answer. You start to
Yep.
feel a little more in control, and it's a fight, but you go, there's a method, and if you stick to it, you can get results.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the big bad monster of, oh, you're not as lean as you used to be, you view it as something that it's a big pile of fucking split wood. You're like, we just have to stack it. It's going to take like a week, but the pile will go down.
Right.
If you look at QAnon, in theory, I completely understand the allure of it. Well, one, the allure is I don't have to do anything, trust the plan. That's the lazy allure.
Well, I was here. Wait, yeah.
That's the biggest allure. But on a deeper level, sorry, I have my windows open. On a deeper level, what it does is it takes the chaos of the world and like, why is everything seemingly shit? Why
Yeah.
are we always funding wars? Why is there evil?
Right.
Why is there a prison industrial comp? Why can't we seem to close up we can pinpoint bin Laden, but we can't like close the border. It takes all of the chaos and it puts it into sense. It goes, there's a bunch of evil people running the world, and we're trying to dismantle it.
Right.
I get that. I
Well, me
get that
too.
on a very human level.
It's one of those things that has an emotional appeal too, because it would be nice to believe. I mean,
Sure.
it would be awesome. I mean, if this was like, if that was like the thing, it'd be
There are a bunch
awesome.
of good guys getting rid of the fucking
Yeah,
demon
they're
pedophile
doing
lizard
shit.
people.
Just took them a long time to get their shit together. Yeah, like
Hats off,
awesome.
boys.
Like I'm gonna go back to playing Xbox, man. You guys got this shit under control. Like I'm cool.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. I get the allure of it. And I think that's, if it is a psyop, it's even that much more insidious.
Yeah, it is. That's what I think is the darkest thing about it, personally, man. Because I do believe I don't think it was some fucking idiots on 4chan. I do believe it was like
It's too well coordinated.
no, it's too it is kept going. It survived all these fucking storms too. I do think it was somebody intentionally sidelining folks and also like appealing to that like hope and desire that there's some fucking good guys out there, which especially, if you feel weak and powerless is a thing that like that's what the government's supposed to fucking do. It's what your tribe is supposed to have done for all these times if you were, kind of a bitch. Like they protected your fucking ass so you could whatever the fuck you did. It would be very easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Is one of the things I'll say about the people that are lost in that thing. It would be very.
And like, I'm not, it's kind of hard to say this because I am making fun of them, but like on a more serious level, like I'm really not. Like, it's sad.
It is.
I get it. And it's like you can never tell like a relationship shit until you're out of it because you're so clouded by emotion. You go,
Right.
oh, that person was tormenting me, right? You tell until it's 5 years removed. You go, oh, right, and it is sad, but then again, it's like, well, if it is a psyop run by these fucking demons, yeah, are you surprised that they're playing on the most human?
No shit.
It's like how the Nazis, when all the high command was captured in that American army prison camp, I think it was called Ashcan, and they were interrogating them. This is before the war was even over. Germany was done, but Japan was still going on, and they were interrogating these top Nazis, and they were all supposed friends, Arthur Rudolph, Werner von Braun, all these guys, Kurt Bloma, Schreiber. And when they're interviewed one on one, they'd all say, they'd be like, the rest of these are bad guys. You got to hang them. They're like, I was just doing what I was told. That'd be like if you brought me and Clay into a room and after this podcast we're chatting. I'm like, listen, you got to fucking look into Clay. That guy is a terrorist. I'm fine. And then Clay goes, Tommy's a fucking, you're like, I'm an American. That guy's a fucking,
I think he's Q. I think he's
yeah,
running.
I think he is Q. I know he's Q. And I remember when I first read about this, I was like, these guys are stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me and I started laughing. I went, yeah, they're Nazis. Like, it's when you can turn people into lampshades. Yeah, they might also throw a buddy under the bus.
Oh, shit.
But they throw babies into a pit of fire. Yeah, you know what? They might also not be too honest about their friends. Like,
Right.
so if QAnon is playing on this like deep human, like you said, this tribal emotion about group cohesion,
Yeah.
but they're also pedophiles, like who are dismantling the West, like, yeah, they might also lie to you in a psyop.
No shit. Right.
They might, if we're gonna nuke Hiroshima, yeah, we're also liable to maybe shoot a couple artillery shells.
Right.
Like,
No shit.
gonna go to 10, they might also go to 5, right?
Right.
I don't know. How the fuck we get it? Yeah, anyway, but Clay is Q, so
Donate to my Q fund me. Wait, do have pay my
it,
Patreon to get some more codes out there that you can decipher.
yeah.
Army of Good Guys does stuff.
And that's like another part of this. I wasn't planning on this being a Q podcast, but whatever, here we are.
No shit, shit
Yeah,
happens.
it does. That's another thing though, is like it's part of me is like, well, it's good to get burned. It makes you more mentally fit to go, oh, I was wrong. But then there's also people like making money off this shit.
Oh yeah, the merchandise, bro. There was the merch. Yeah, they were selling piles
Someone's
of
making
things.
those Q shirts. They don't just appear.
No, no, right. Which, in retrospect, also I wish I got on that
Me
train.
too. 1,000%.
And,
I'm the
and
idiot.
oh yeah, no shit. Like 2018 or so. Like I just had, my entire life savings turned into Q slaps with American flags. Like I don't know why. It just seemed like the thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just sold them all. Every
Yeah.
fucking bit.
Yeah. No, that would be the way to go. And I think like another part of deciphering it is when promises get too big. That's in my short 32 years on this life. I've realized that if something is somewhat believable, but not too fantastic, it's probably true. You go
Yeah.
find a job and it's, in a city of minimum wage jobs and you find something that pays maybe like twice minimum wage. That's not too absurd. It's a cool thing. You're like, oh, I want to go be a bartender. You're like, that's a solid job.
Yeah.
When the promise is so fantastic, it's
Right.
I know you're 18 years old, Tommy, but this job pays $1 million. I'm like,
Right.
something's going on.
I
And
am not getting in your ice cream truck, mister. Like I know
exactly,
how this goes.
guy with no hair, and he's like, just come on in here. He's just jerking his micro penis. He's like, I got some candy for you. It's like, all right, I'll not falling for this again. I can still taste you from last time. That's a rape joke. And but when the promises are too big, I would understand if it was like there are some treasonous generals. Yeah, okay. I could see something like that. It would be big for a couple of years and then everyone would kind of forget it. Give you a little more faith in the system. But when the promise is that like not only is Hillary treasonous, but she's been dead for several years and there's just an act, I'm like, oh well, hold on. I'm like, wait, hold the fuck on. When it's like Xi Jinping is a white hat and he's working with Trump, I'm like, okay, hold on, guys. Like, what are we actually?
I haven't heard that one. That's fucking
Yeah, no,
awesome.
Xi Jinping's a white hat. Military is the only way, but they never specified which military, so it's the Russian military. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn. Well, that's fucking hell.
Yeah, and now I'm like, these. I remember like days before the Biden inauguration installation, whichever you prefer. I remember seeing Q stuff go around, and it started to get
Oh,
dialed up
bro.
to 11 or 12.
Yeah,
It
bro. I
was
remember
like
there was
it,
a
it
firefight at the server farm in Germany between Delta Force and the CIA, and you're like,
well,
this
no,
is
no, it went bigger. That's palatable. You go, all right, maybe, sure, whatever. In a world of insanity, you go, maybe.
okay.
I don't believe it, but I mean, could it happen? Yeah, whatever, whatever. CIA is. I'm reading Legacy of Ashes about the CIA. They're a bunch of demons. That's not even. I don't even
Right.
necessarily not believe that. They were like, get ready for disclosure, like the big one, like UFO disclosure. Like they're gonna launch nukes during the inauguration, and that's when the UFOs come in. And we're gonna learn that like Trump had made a peace deal with the fucking whatever the Greys from, and that you're gonna that. I'm like, you're promising the store now. That's I'll be there in 10 minutes, baby. And I've got fucking Elton John's gonna play a song at us at our fucking anniversary. And it's like, you forgot it was our anniversary, didn't you? Like, oh, I'm coming right now. I'm talking to Elton John. It's like you're just okay. You're just lying. And that's I don't know. Okay, you have any more thoughts on Q before we move on?
No, for fuck's sake, please let's move on. You know, I can't
But
believe I can't believe Q's still going on this long later either. Like
Clay's
that
been
was
slowly loading a pistol this whole time. And he's like, if he goes till 3, I'm blowing my brains out. But for the original reasons why I wanted to have you on is so you look at QAnon, you look at all this, it can get black pilled, and I'm a big proponent of not being black pilled
yeah,
simply
me too.
because I think your mental space is the only thing that is truly yours. Even if you are in a government camp, if you cede your mental ground, that's your own surrender. You can be hung, you can be tortured, they can take away your money, they can break through your front door. If you cede your own mental ground, your own hope, or faith in Christ or whatever, that's your own defeat, and that's on no one but you. And I've quoted your tweet before, but it's 10,000 generations chose you to fight at Ragnarok. Like you should be honored.
Yeah,
And that is how I'm trying to look at things now is like you're here at what seems to be the end. Like stand tall.
yeah, exactly. It's it's a dangerous mindset to get in to think like this is absolutely the end because that's been done many times. People thought, shit. There's a couple. I didn't do my fucking Wikipedia shit before I came on the show. There's a couple times like 100 years after the death of Christ, 500 years after when Rome was sacked. All these other times, Black Plague. I'm sure there was something. People thought like this is the end. This is fucking it. And they were wrong. Things keep going after that. But when you look at what's happening to us right now, it really does, in ways that it never has before, feel like this might be for all the fucking marbles. Uh, Especially if things go a certain direction. With the idea of like the panopticon of the constant digital surveillance, digital money, so everything's controlled. If you look at things like that, I believe I do believe there's a depopulation agenda. I don't know how they come to that. I don't know exactly what the mechanism it is, but it does feel like that is a thing that they're trying to do.
Or
And it does feel like they're trying to set up in iron fucking bound a global government with a small group of elites that are fucking here, nothing here, and then fucking serfs with nothing. And this is honestly a lot of the ideas that we explored in Wrath of the Wendigo. I mean, that's like shit that I believe. It's a fictional book, but it's shit that I believe they are trying to do.
1,000%.
You like that? You like that plug?
Yeah, Breath of no, I like that. I recognize the plot. I like it. Game recognized game. I get it. That
Right?
link is in the description. Beat you to it, fuckface.
Fuck yeah. But that is shit that I really do believe is happening. And when you look at the way that things are falling together, the technology that's involved, that really could control human beings in a way they never could have before. Even Soviet Union, 50s Soviet Union, when things were really fucking bad, it took a lot. All right. They had to have this, huge network of secret police, and all these
Mhm.
dudes had to be afraid of the guy above them. And it worked pretty well right until the minute Stalin died. And then it really started falling apart. Things were still not great, but things started falling apart. You could get by with some more shit then. There were more black markets and shit then. This feels like something else. So I do believe that though, and yeah, if that's true, then yes. I mean, your bloodline evolved and made it through all this shit, fighting woolly fucking mammoths and surviving the Black Plague for that matter, or the invasion of the Hun. Maybe you were the Huns, whatever you are genetically, it's cool.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, the Visigoths sacking Rome, the fucking across the ocean to the new world and not dying of some fucking disease, or
Yeah.
getting scalped at Jamestown.
Yeah.
It took a lot to get you here. So yeah, the idea of like I'm just gonna fold up like a bitch, like no man, my blood and my genetics say that is not an option. I might lose. All right, well that shit
Sure.
happens, but it's not gonna be because I didn't fucking try.
And that's one thing that's kind of important. I always kind of ask people this when I talk about not being black pilled and how like you have to fight is I'll be like, let's say, best case scenario, fucking good guys win, right? There's justice that you never thought would be happen. Whoever's responsible for COVID tried. We unwind the permanent, military economy, and just a level of peace that you never thought could even imagine. You just in 50 years, you're just like, I can't believe that like the good guys won. Like really walk that out. Okay, everything happens. Big pharma is dismantled. Fucking whatever. Maybe lifespan goes up to 150, 200. And then what? But you die. Maybe you get uploaded to a computer. Okay. The universe will eventually go through the big rip. No, sorry, the big stretch. That's where it expands forever. And then there's the big crunch, and that's where it folds back in on itself. It does end. Best case scenario, it ends.
Right.
So if you really walk that out, you realize you're already dead. If everything goes perfectly, you're already dead. Where's Kobe? All the money in the world, fucking
Yeah.
around. It's Kobe. It's you fucking have his shoes. He's dunking from the free throw line. Drafted out of high school. Dies with his 10-year-old daughter on his private chopper. Where does it go? Where does it go? You do die, and I don't think that's negative. I think it's you're here to stand your ground, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, even the Stasi in the 50s, where something like 5% of the population of East Berlin,
Yeah.
like intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're at a level of tyrannical wet dream that
Oh fuck, man. Yeah.
everyone thinks it's always the end. That being said, like there's a little more meat to this one where it's like you might actually be there.
Right.
But I also don't think, epigenetics, it's where like for a while we had this idea that basically every generation's a clean slate of genetics. You
Right.
pass
Yeah.
on aside from genetic mutations, but you just pass shit on and it's pretty much like that's it. If
Yeah.
you smoke cigarettes, whatever, your kids are fine. There's like more evidence leaning towards like, no, what you actually do in your life could be passed on and maybe it
Yes.
might skip a generation. So it's like trauma from, I don't know, like World War One.
Mhm.
Like like I might be experiencing it. Like my great great uncle, I think, died in World War One. Like it might affect maybe just a tiny bit. It might affect like the
Yeah.
amount of adrenaline in my blood. I might get more tensed up about things. But the idea is that like your actions are actually spread on. Like, and if it goes physically, that can also mean mentally. It
Yes.
can mean emotionally.
Yeah.
So if you're like an abusive father or something, or an abusive mother, like your kids, your grandkids might actually suffer from someone they never met, right? So it kind
Right.
of brings a whole new idea to karma. Well, I then think about on these giant levels of natural feedback of over 100 million years when forests like stop producing certain leaves because there's too much CO2 over here, or vines do this, or algal blooms do this. insanely complex feedback systems that only a supercomputer could know and love. Who's to say that there isn't some weird undercurrent through the 100 billion humans that have ever lived that are all experiencing life from the Visigoths till now? And there's this weird feedback cycle, and it knows in the same way that like a dog knows that a storm's coming. The global genome might know like something's amok,
What it
and it
needs.
might and it might not be like hyper accurate like it you were born in 1990. Maybe it's like a general couple generations it's
Right.
good at, but it might have known for 10,000 years like we're coming up to the end. And it
Yeah.
could it's not absurd at all to assume that like you are it's not a cheesy Instagram post, like you are
Right.
here for a reason.
Right.
Yeah. um and to kind of tie that in to another tweet of yours I saw, and people might be thinking, is this podcast really about Clay's tweets? Yes, it is. I wrote them down for this
Actually,
podcast.
it
It
is.
absolutely is. Go fuck yourself. I am Q. I am QAnon. Pay attention. These are trip codes. I want you to find the date and time of Clay's tweets. That's where you'll find where Obama's really living right now.
It'll
Michelle
suck.
Obama is in NORAD. She's in charge. Um,
She's secretly the president.
she is. She always has been, always will be. But another one was is that you said my children will inherit the stars no matter what that takes. And to me, that is the again, it's not just like a motivational. I mean, we are on the cusp of space travel. Could you maybe go into that,
Sure.
and
And
is that somewhat tied into the Ragnarok kind of idea of we're here
it
to go
actually
forward?
is.
Okay.
It's funny because this actually ties into the book too. This is not a theme you would like to see or you would think would be explored in Wrath of Wendigo, but it is also something that I believe. When you look at like the government that they're trying to put, like the elitist or globalist fucking one world government shit, that's for a reason. All right. Now I break it down like this, and I don't know exactly why this is. It could be that that's something that that they something that was seen in space when we were walking on the fucking moon that never got declassified, that us peons will never fucking know about,
Mm-hmm.
saw them and fucking scared them. Uh, or could be something else, could be just a conclusion they've come to that we don't have the technology to actually get off this fucking rock. That I actually believe drove a lot of where we are today, starting in about the early 70s and then really kind of solidified through the 80s of what they're trying to do. If you assume that position, assume that you're, motherfucker in charge and we can never get off Earth, there's nothing else, this is it. What would you do? Well, one, you wouldn't want the planet to be fucked up. You want some hyper fucking Captain Planet cleanup, no microplastics. What's one of
Yeah.
the best ways to do that? Get rid of all the excess people, like all of them. Right? Also, if you know that or believe that your genetics are stuck here, what else would you like to do? Well, you want to go to Yellowstone, but you don't want a bunch of mouth breathing fucking retards around. You don't want to see them on the drive there or the
Yeah.
flight there or any of that. You don't want them in any of the beautiful places. You want to stand on a beach in California and see empty beach for miles in each direction because you're part of this elite cast and nobody else is. So I honestly believe that something happened, and what, I don't know. Could be any of those things. That they were like, okay, fucking fuck the space race. We can't do it. What we have to do instead is make this world an ideal paradise for us. We're only us. For the 10,000, I don't know, 100,
Yeah.
whatever that cutoff line is. And I haven't dug deep enough into this, but I think this has probably historically happened a lot of times as well. When we were leaving places on like going to the New World.
Yeah.
All right, you didn't see fucking kings getting on ships to fucking go to the New World. All right, like the, you didn't.
No.
To start with, nobody believed that there was anything over there. Like I think they funded Columbus to get him out of their fucking hair. Like, you know what? You and Martine, the guys, just fuck off. Just
Go go that way.
go fall off the edge,
That's
motherfuckers.
telling Frodo to go to Mordor. You're like, get out of here. And then he comes back and he's like, I did it. And you're like, you what?
Take your goddamn ring with you. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Did you hear more? Did you
Right,
hear Frodo did it? He did what? He killed
right,
Sauron. You're like, You gotta be shitting me.
He's right.
I was trying to get him out of my house. My wife hated him.
Right. And one of the things I actually need to dig into. I don't know if there were like Aboriginal leaders in Australia too that like put down revolts like we're not taking the fucking boats anywhere. This is Australia. This is the universe. We're fucking here. Yeah, this is it. Nobody's going anywhere. You could definitely see that through some like Pacific Islander cultures, and even the goddamn movie Moana. If we want to really break this down to modern audience, the idea of a ruling caste that is afraid to leave but definitely doesn't want to fuck up their fiefdom. And maybe part of the reason they're afraid to leave anyway is they're afraid they'll lose control. It's very easy to see them taking that view. Now,
Mm,
I believe the other way. I believe that people like us, we. This is actually one of the other weird things about all the moon stuff. Where else have we ever gone in human history that we just did it and stopped going?
yeah,
Never. Right?
yeah.
They didn't sail to the New World and then get back and be like, okay, well, fucking cool. Here's some tobacco. We brought back some of these brown chicks, and that's it.
That's
Fucking burn
nothing
the ship.
there.
Yeah, we're done. They eventually kept going back. I believe that if we had better uh, what's the word I'm looking for here? I mean, we're doing it with like SpaceX and stuff like that, but I believe if NASA hadn't been a government agency, already they would have found cheaper and better ways and more reasons to get back there. Maybe it was super expensive at first. Like, I get it, but never have we stopped
Yeah.
going somewhere. I mean, we still go to fucking Antarctica. We're still trying to get to the bottom of the ocean. It's just really odd that we've just sat this one out for what 50 years now.
It is the one bone I will throw to the people that say we didn't go there. Now, I do think we went there, but I do get there actually is a Venn diagram to people that believe we went there and to people that don't believe. And it is why did it just stop? That's not
It is a weird contention, and this is a question. This is basically why I came to the conclusion of they saw something that scared them because I honestly believe that we went to. Now, could we have faked that bullshit? Yeah, okay, it's possible. I mean,
sure.
with all the other shit that's come out, if it was fake, like that's
That wouldn't
possible.
surprise me. I'd be like, yeah,
Right,
they
right. Like,
blew Kennedy's head off. I'm like, yeah,
of course
they
we
might,
fucking.
yeah.
But I'm with you. I think we went. I just think that something happened there that fucking scared them off.
Do you think they found like people will hide things in like writings and stuff?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's often like they'll try to like look at like presidents' diaries and things and be like what they knew there under a microscope, and they'll say things and it's like, did this really represent that? Or just famous authors will be like, Shakespeare's talking about whatever, but he's not actually talking about the moon. He's talking about whatever,
Right.
love or something. I don't know. Uh, there's this video of which is it's kind of just hilarious because I think it was produced by Disney and it's Werner von Braun who headed up like the Nordhausen concentration camp. It is kind of funny that Disney just worked with a Nazi, but like as an aside, there's this video of him from it's not funny, but I'll find it for you. I'll send it to you. And it was this thing to kind of like get the younger generations involved in science, and it was in the 50s, so it's like before we went to the moon. And it's just this like well produced thing about how we're going to go to the moon and what the space stations will look like. It's pretty accurate. And he was describing the multi-stage rockets and everything, and they kind of make this like little sketch, and it's your 1950s. It's the guys with the big helmets, and they're like, we're
Right.
going on the backside of the moon now, sir, and whatever they're up there, and they've got like the boop boop like radar, and they're on the far side of the moon, and then there's this idea that once you're on the far side of the moon, you have to use like flares to light it up, which, okay, I guess it would be like orbital flare, whatever. The idea is there. And so they're shooting these flares and it goes down and it lights it up. And then they clip the picture and they're just mapping the far side of the moon, right? Okay. And it's, bum, bum, and they're taking it and whatever. And they're like, we're mapping the moon, sir. And then finally, completely unnecessary in this like whole 30-minute series, they go, they're looking at the radar and they're like, do you detect that, sir? And they're like, there is something like we can't map it. And they're like, radiation levels are off the roof. And they go, fire a flare. And they fire the flare and it lights up. And it's clearly it's not like a crater. It's clearly like an archaeological site. This is developed by and directed by Werner von Braun, the head of NASA. And it looks almost like not the Aztec. What are the famous there's like these lines out in the desert somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what
It's
you're
like
talking about.
lizards or
Yeah, huge,
something.
fucking massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that, but it kind of looks. It's almost like if you looked at like Machu Picchu from above, you can
Yeah.
see where it looks like a little tiny civilization 10,000 years removed, like it's been worn down. But it's these
Mhm.
like little lines, and there's like a circle or something. It might be like a weird Aztecian thing, and the guys are all looking out the window, like staring at it. And then the show just continues and never addresses it. And if you go into the comments on the YouTube people and the YouTube video, people are commenting. They're like, "Yo, fuck was this?" And it's the 50s. It's not 2020 where like 2023 where like you could make something and get it by the censors or something.
Right, right,
This was like a massive like Disney production.
right.
Okay, so take that and just put that on the shelf. I've interviewed Charlie Duke 4 times, who walked on the moon. And the fourth time I interviewed him, I read his book, Moonwalker. It's actually a wonderful book about, coming to God and, stopping the rat race of money and drinking. It's actually a very beautiful book. But somewhere in there, he talks about a dream he had on the moon, which is just such a badass statement.
No
When I was
shit.
sleeping on the moon, and
Fucking what?
he talks about this dream he had where they're out on a moonwalk, and he goes farther than he's supposed to or something. He goes over this like hill, and they find another lunar rover that's identical to theirs. And there's 3 astronauts on it, and they have their gold visors down. And he's like, "What are they doing there?" And they're like trying to radio him, and they're like, "Is there like another team up here? Is it compartmentalized this Cold War shit?" And they go up to him, and he like opens the mask, and it's like his face, but it's like decayed or something. And they open all the masks, and it's all of them three, but their bodies are like decaying because they've just been there for like 1,000 years or something.
Whoa.
And then he just goes back to the book and doesn't address the dream again. And I brought it up on the podcast. I was like, I'd had him on 3 times prior to that, and I'd never once brought up aliens out of respect.
Right, right.
Even though it's so hard for me not to. I'm like,
yes.
I'm white knuckling. I'm like a sex addict at a strip club. I'm like, so what was it like taking off? And I'm like, what's on the backside of the moon? And like, but out of respect, I don't. And I finally asked him, and I brought that up, and I'm like, and I tried to couch it as like professionally as I could. This is episode 1,000. And I'm like, what's kind of up there? And he just goes, I think aliens and UFOs, I think they exist, and I think they're demons. And then we kind of just wrap up the podcast. So those like 3 nuggets of Werner von Braun's production, Charlie Duke saying that in his book, and then him casually just saying, I think they're real, and I think they're demons." Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think they found something, because
Yeah.
what other evidence would you have? This would be the most hyper classified thing in human history.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You
Yes,
only
yes.
have these little side stories, right?
Right.
Well, why didn't Von Braun come out and say it? I don't know. He probably liked his grandkids and didn't want to be killed.
Right. No
So he
shit.
hid it in a Disney production. That was a long, I know I just talked your ear off for like 10 minutes, but I agree with you.
Makes logical sense, right? Yeah. I mean, it's the only way that I can think of. And again, that goes back to being somebody that believes that we could get to the moon with 50 technology. And I think we fucking did it. And we did it too many times too. If we couldn't actually, we just picked it once, like, okay, fuck it. Everything's cool.
We did it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I do think we did it, but that's the logical thing to me. And that also, really, when you start like really looking at the timeline of when they started coming up with like all this like global warming bullshit and like safe guy and like really started like messaging and influencing people this other direction. That's also, it was many years before that. It was in the 20s and 30s when they were talking about eugenics. That was a different thing. 70s and 80s, they started talking about depopulation.
Yes.
That was where that became the Club of Rome, all that bullshit's agenda. It really makes you think, really does.
Yeah, are we on a and the idea is it's been floated before so many times as a name. The idea is called the prison planet hypothesis.
Right.
Is that we can't leave.
Yeah. So some super advanced aliens just like, you know what? Listen, motherfuckers, you're contained. You're in quarantine forever.
And that's the other thing is I don't think it's some like philosophical thing. I think
Right.
the most likely thing is there probably is some advanced civilization where the good guys did win, where QAnon did win, and they realize that they're one in a million, and they're finding us. We're nuking shit. We're just throwing people in like gas chambers. We're just, the people that run the planet are raping kids on a Caribbean island. I think they probably they scanned us, they did a once over, and they're like, kind of like, no, you're not dating my daughter.
Right, right,
Like
right, right.
at shotgun point, like get off. You're not dating her. You're a, you're covered in face tattoos. You're 30 and you're interested in my 16-year-old daughter. Get off my lawn.
Right, right.
I think they looked at us and they were like, bullshit, you're going outside the solar system.
Right,
You're
right.
staying there.
Like you're not quite evil enough to wipe, but you're evil enough that you're staying home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we don't care enough to kill you, but you're not leaving. And
With your little fucking multi-stage rockets and nuclear fusion.
yeah,
Fuck
fuck
you. Yeah.
off. Fuck
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Lasers bigger than your sun, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Shut the
we'll vaporize you last week. Like you dipshits. Um, something like that scared him off. So then yeah, that would make sense is so they can't leave here.
yeah.
So they're gonna clean up their estate,
Now they're effectively like, prison bosses in a supermax serving life. Like they're not going anywhere. So the best thing they can do is make this place
make
great
their
for them.
kingdom.
Yeah.
Start fucking working out, fucking get a monopoly on the cigarettes, run your
Yep.
fucking crew. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then like all things considered, like, is that bad?
What
It's
is wrong?
let me preface this by saying it's evil and they're demons from hell.
But yeah.
In terms of all possible outcomes, it's not. Is it that bad? I mean, it's bad that they're gonna kill like everybody. That's bad. But
Yes.
like, if they clean up the planet and like,
That would be okay. I would be fine with that. But again, it goes back to I think cowardice. I think they're fucking pussies is the reason they want to stay here.
yeah,
Some fucking men of courage would either, do what it took to get off this fucking thing and, find somewhere else. And look, man, people are like, oh, we don't have the technology. Like, motherfucker, we don't have the technology across the ocean either. Like,
yeah,
if that becomes your focus though, like you start evolving technology, you start doing the shit. We've poured like no money into space since we shut down the lunar programs. Okay, we threw a drone at Mars allegedly, like, okay, big fucking deal. Like there's nothing. We as a people have not focused on that when we should have. Really, that's something that I firmly believe. Like looking back with the eyes of retrospect, real leaders and good leaders would have shaped all the nations to, okay, man, we figured out we can do this. We're going. We're gonna find Earth 2 or fucking whatever. And yeah, that might have been like an impossible dream at the time. Now we right now in our bullshit boats with no sails, we can barely get away from the shore and come back. But you start pushing.
yeah,
And the fact that we didn't do that says a lot.
yeah. No, I mean, fucking men worth being leaders. You should say men and women. No, men worth being leaders. Fuck off. I don't care. Everyone already hates me and I'm canceled from everywhere. Fuck off. Yeah, no, they would pull some 1776 shit. A bunch of
Hell yeah.
guys in powdered wigs would be shooting at the Royal Navy with muskets that kind of worked.
Right, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
real fucking Eisenhower would be like, yeah, no, ask the aliens for a meeting. We're
Right.
gonna nuke them. They might kill us. Fuck them. Right? There'd be a D-Day on the moon. That's what like a real man would do, right? They'd be like, fuck it.
Right.
Fucking kill them. Take one of them hostage. We're gonna fuck them to death in front of them. We got the Japanese to sign a fucking surrender and like bow their heads to MacArthur. Like, if they kill us, then they kill us. Like, let's go to Valhalla. That's a
Right.
good point, man. Fuck it. We go keep going to the moon. Be like, do it, pussy. Kill me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fucking do it. Maybe that's
Right.
what Elon's doing. Maybe he's
Maybe.
just calling the bluff.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
just like, do it, fuckers.
Right.
Do it. Make me a fucking make me a fucking martyr. Yeah, man. And then it
We start down that rabbit hole. It's a lot to take in because it really does put a lot of things in perspective. Like, holy fuck, like that makes, I mean, it makes a lot of fucking sense. And then you
yeah.
just start spitballing all these other things. You're like, yeah, like, this is fucking wild.
Yeah. And it's also like the more you read, even about the last 100 years, it actually expands what you think is. It's not that you read a bunch of books and then you come back and go conspiracies are stupid. In the 50s, there was this plan to create this like ground-based laser system that would shoot down incoming nukes. Not even SDI Reagan's thing. This was 30 years before that. And how they were going to do it is they were going to base it somewhere around, I think, Detroit or Chicago.
Mhm.
I guess that was the best place to shoot them coming out over the North
Okay.
Pole. And to generate the power needed, they were going to blow out these massive caverns the size of the Great Lakes under the Great Lakes. And this is in a book about DARPA by Sharon Weinberger. I think it's Imagineers of War. It might be Mad Scientist. There's two good books on DARPA. And we were going to put these basically like hydroelectric dams at the base under the lake. And if we needed to, because it takes 30 minutes for a missile to get here, we were going to drain the Great Lakes in 15 minutes
Holy
to
shit.
charge up a battery to shoot fucking missiles out of it. This was in the 50s. And the guy that floated it got like a raise at DARPA. And they eventually decided not to because they found like a more efficient way to do. But once you read that, you go, hold on. They might have found something on the moon. Once you start reading about it, once you realize that they had they had helicopter UAVs in Vietnam that had self-healing skin. And that's in Annie Jacobson's DARPA, the Pentagon's brain. Very crude. It was like this weird plastic foam that would absorb like after a bullet hole, it would like disperse.
Yeah.
Which okay, makes sense. But this was in Vietnam. And it was
Right.
declassified like 10 years ago.
Right.
Self-healing UAV helicopters
In Vietnam.
in
Yeah.
in Fortunate Sunland. Right?
Right.
Fortunate Son. No, there was fucking Terminator was there. So you have to just start really being pragmatic and realistic with yourself and going, well, that was 50 years ago.
Right.
What are they doing now?
Right.
And as you said, what would they do? They would clean up Earth. Well, there's no rules against creating a digital world where you can explore forever. Why wouldn't they do that?
Maybe that's what all this AI bullshit is headed towards. I mean, I think that's a lot more about enslavement, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
possible.
Well, no, it's everything's about enslavement and rape.
Yeah.
And listen, they're demons from hell who rape kids. Like, let's just
Right.
remember that as a footnote on
Right.
every page. On
As
every page of your thought process, just remember they're demons from hell that literally praise Moloch, provably on video.
right.
But just remember that. But it might be that if you can't explore the universe, kind of create your own universe, which is almost like biblical. Instead of self improvement, which would theoretically allow us off the prison planet,
Mm-hmm.
instead you want to create your own hell and create a whole paradigm within that artificial bubble of like of virtual reality. Man, it kind of all this shit does make Alex Jones sound less crazy.
It really does. It really does. Yeah. Yeah, it really does.
Um, yeah, we're gonna do like 20 more minutes. I gotta go pee. So Clay, tell everyone where to find you. The links are in the Twitter in the description. Go get the books. Don't be a fucking communist. Support Clay. He is QAnon.
But QAnon needs funding this week. Yeah. So yeah, the books are all available on Amazon. We have audio books for Concrete Jungle, Prairie Fire, Last of the War God, Sword of the Caliphate. Audiobook for Wrath of Wendigo coming out hopefully very soon. You can find me on Twitter at Way Off the Res. Used to be Off the Res, but Way Off the Res is the account that we use now. You can also take a look at us over at defiancetraininggroup.com. We have a new thing over there. We're teaching people how to shoot with both airsoft guns in your garage, backed up by live fire training, for weekends, that kind of thing. A whole digital training program that's been put together over there. Now we got to talk about if Tommy's taking the long whiz or not, which seems more and more. I wonder how far he's going to go to the bathroom. I wish it was actually in Tommy's studio because I would fuck with him a lot more than I can, digitally right now. Definitely draw some dicks on his chair. Probably teabag the microphone. Yeah, that happened for sure. We got to do this live one time. That would be awesome. Tommy's left us floundering in the gray space of trying to make up some shit with the host gone. I should come up prepared for shit like this. Oh, well. Also, if you need some merchandise to back up your book, Wrath of Wendigo, over at wrathofwendigo.com, we have a link to a store. We have stickers, patches, all kinds of cool guy shit to tell the globalists that you hate them and you will live on this planet long after they're gone.
Hell yeah. And you'll have sex with their bodies. I said that, not Clay.
I encourage that behavior.
You'll fucking bang out Clay's body.
We'll make it
Clay's body. Sorry, Klaus's body.
We'll make it a holiday. Fucking every 1st of January, fucking take up a 10 globalists, bang their butthole.
Yeah. I have these moments where I realize there is a reason why I don't have sponsors. These little sentences fly out of my mouth, and I just see them come out, and I'm just like, it's like throwing a baseball out a window and it breaks, and you go, "There's a reason why I'm always grounded." Like right. I did that. Right. It's this brief moment. It's like the first ape to become self-aware and be like, "Why am I here?" There's just every once in a while I just say things like, "They're demon pedophiles fucking kids on an island," and it just floats out. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I might not get sponsored. Maybe, maybe I'm not going to get sponsored by Shure SMB microphones.
Maybe you look at different sponsors. Like, probably not going to get sponsored by FTX Bank or whatever, but probably get picked up by the Wise Food Pail guys or some water filters or some bullshit.
That's what I need to do. Is I need to go far. I need to go farther in. I need to go deeper in. All right, and pick up those sponsors. So to kind of pivot, and I think I have harassed you about this before. And for everybody listening, Wrath of the Wendigo is I would say it's my second favorite fictional book of all time, which is the best compliment I can give it. It's fucking incredible, and I genuinely mean that. I tear through I go through more than an audiobook a week, so I genuinely mean that. Out of the last 150 books I've read, I'd say it's probably number 2. It's incredible, and it's lightly veiled fiction. Have you thought of, not to put you on the spot, but I mean, you are QAnon, so you have mental capacity, but not beyond anyone, and I'm but a mere servant. Have you thought about a sequel, kind of going completely down the rabbit hole? I mean, from space travel to fucking transhumanism or a prequel going back to deep history?
I have, and now that's a difficult proposition because a lot of this book I can't even really take credit for writing. I believe in that inspiration shit, and this felt like someone else was writing it.
Download.
But I did also always, in some ways, see it as a trilogy because I feel like there's other pieces of the story that get told after that still need to happen, and I'm kind of just waiting on those to cool. And it's one of those weird things with drawing on that kind of inspiration. I don't know if other events have to take place before I get the story. External events. I don't know if I got to have my shit more tight. I don't know. But I do see 2 more stories out of that. and I kind of very vaguely see a conclusion. But yeah, I think it's going to happen over the next couple of years. I think that will happen.
I've never written anything, so I can't touch on that, but I do kind of know what you're talking about with like graphic design. You like when I'd create some fucking really badass piece, and you're like, I didn't make that. That's just you're like
Right.
it just came through me, and you're like, well, there it is.
Right.
Thing.
You know also when that one's done, like it's done.
Yeah. No, and I felt it with certain podcasts. I felt it with conversations where it's just like they're really just you're just vibing and it's perfect. And when it comes to an end, it comes to an end, like end the podcast. And what I've also found, and this is just my own humble advice that has worked for me, is you can get I know I have before where after you experience something like that, it's so perfectly creative that you go, oh, I gotta wait for it. And that can you can it's almost your it's like a creative QAnon. You're trusting the plan, you're waiting for it to happen again. And it's
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
although it is true where it does come in, I have found sometimes you gotta start moving it. You gotta start just doing something. And I think the writer Maya Angelou, I've never read any of her shit, but apparently she's famous or was famous. She wrote that sometimes writing is just awful. You show up every day to the typewriter and you sit there for 12 hours and all you can come up with is the fat cat was wearing a hat and sat on the mat. She goes, and it's just god awful. But as if the muse respects your persistence, after the 50th day, eventually goes, okay, you kept showing up. And then it gives you the bestseller. There, it might be that. And I'm not, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge fan of your book, so I'm not trying to fucking dictate to you what to do. But there might be some of that where you gotta
Lean into
start
it a little bit.
start doing some push-ups, warm up, and then you go, okay, now I'm
Now,
ready for a workout.
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And there's a lot of people write different ways. There's a lot of different, but I've always been that like sit down and it takes me like 30 to 40 days to write a book, which um, isn't for some people abnormally fast. Some
That's
people,
insane. Yeah.
and then some people, there are other people that write that way though. I'm trying to think of who I know or famous author I know that writes that way. But for me, I've never once had to like sit down and like force through it.
Hmm.
But maybe there is something to there. There definitely is something to starting. Sometimes you just fucking sit down and start, and then the motherfucker will blow out for you, even if it is awful to start with. But
And it could very well also, just full disclosure, it might not work at all. It might be absolutely, you might send it along to me and I'll be like, hey, Clay, this wasn't it. This wasn't it.
12 hours of writing, or like 144 days of writing, it was a dark and stormy night.
It's just total shit. You start with you're like the robot hybrid Klaus Schwab was standing there with a 14-inch throbbing cock, and I'm like, Clay, this is not. And he was fucking a Wendigo to death, and I'm like, that's Clay, this is snuff porn. I don't want to have you on my show anymore, man. You fucking weirdo. Yeah, man, I made these patches. It's just a dick going into the butt of an antler. I'm like, this is not.
this is this is not what the market wanted. Nobody
No,
wanted this.
this is fucking call Joe Kent and be like, can you do like a wellness check on Clay? Oh, I blocked him about a year ago. You sending me was he sending you like a dick inside of a caribou? Yeah, no, I saw that too. Okay, noted.
It'll sell 1,000 times more than anything else. It's just like
You should be
first man to ever be a millionaire from selling patches.
JK Rowling retweets you.
Right.
She's like the voice of a generation. It's just you selling patches of just dicks and different like animals. You know Tommy? Yeah, dude, that's the guy that he interviewed Clay Martin, right? Yeah. Jesus, man. To be a fly on the wall. Fucking asshole.
I bring up a caribou with dicks.
Yeah. Just use the voice of a generation. Fucking shows Paul McCartney. Just like, I mean, I'm in awe to share life in the same planet as him. You become like really artistic, start wearing these huge like flowing robes, and you have like face tattoos and just like rings and shit.
Got an entourage carrying my cape for me and shit. Right.
Clay got addicted to the game, man. He forgot the real path. Well, for anybody that is still listening, I'm sure that's next to nobody now. Um, yeah, man. It I would like to see you flesh that out, right? Because
I think
that's
there's definitely more ideas to run with in that universe.
yeah,
Yeah, there definitely are. Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, it's not just me, right? I mean, I think this has been pretty like well received as like
Oh yes, yes, it's been very well received. Yeah, it's been wild. Yeah.
yeah. So there's clearly like you're tapping into like it's like when people ask me why do I keep interviewing Dr. McCullough and talking about COVID? I'm like because one episode with him gets more views than 100 other episodes. So
Oh, makes
I'm
sense.
yeah, I'm just responding to the market. I don't fucking so there's clearly a an undercurrent of people who do see what you're saying. And it is, I mean, I think we all have that feeling of like who's really in charge.
There have been a
They
lot of
really
people
do.
also that picked it up, and after it was over, they're like, I could never put it in words like exactly
Yes.
that. It was that. That was what the fuck I thought was happening. Like, yeah,
Yes. And it starts to take a little more form.
right.
And yeah, I think I mean, not that I just get to like make requests of you, but I'd really love to see like a prequel or even just like I don't know, like a monologue going into how this like power structure came to be. Even if he just goes on like a 5 page monologue, maybe it's not a book. I would
Well,
love
I
to.
actually thought about doing that, some of that too, over on the Wrath of Windows, like some lost chapters kind of shit.
Yeah.
They're It's one of those things that like when you sit down and write a book like this, a lot of times you have like a lot of ideas, like, okay, this is gonna happen, all this other bullshit. And this stuff doesn't really fit well in the story. So you exit out or you don't ever write that part. But it kind of sticks with you after it's over. You're like, oh fuck, now I wish I had worked harder to fit this piece of the storyline in. But it could still flow as like a lost chapter.
Yeah.
Uh kind of like a standalone thing. But yeah, I have thought seriously about doing that as well.
I guess to like in the last, 5, 7 minutes or so, to like really zoom out and look at like the 100,000 foot view. Doesn't it almost kind of make sense though that that's the group that would be in power? I'm not saying it's good, but I mean just purely from like if you were a betting man and you ran the simulation of Earth a million times, wouldn't it be the most evil people?
Generally speaking, yes. Yeah. When you start when you start looking backwards with a real lens, like who was actually like a good person in history that ended up in power, it's not that many. It's not. And even when those people did end up doing a good thing, it seemed like it didn't ever really last more than a generation or maybe two, maybe three at the most before it was all corrupt and fucked up again. It's kind of the way that things go.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, it does make sense that is who would end up, unfortunately.
Kind of makes you think about, right? Like as you get more into it and you kind of come to grips with the fact that there is this dark cabal and that I don't know for how long. It's probably been at least a century. Where it's like the president's really not the big swinging dick. Like
Yeah.
there's something behind, at least to the 20s, if not the teens.
Yeah. I agree.
Um, and then you start going, well, if that thing came in and took over this place, that implies it came from somewhere. It's like if you're a Native American here and the white guys show up with the advanced technology and you go, yeah, they came over and just ran over this world. Eventually, one of them would go, where'd they come from?
Right.
And
Right.
that implies a whole civilization that has formed over thousands of years, right? They know nothing about Rome or France or the
Right.
Gothic period or writing or fucking Gutenberg. And so then if there is this like hyper nexus of power that has come in and perverted the Republic of the West that was a threat to them, they came from somewhere. And then you start to get, and I think it was you that said this, they keep records. There is a real history of Earth somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
we get the middle school version of, and
Right.
then King George said, "Suck my dick," and George Washington said, "Nah, bro," and the end.
Yeah, but
Right?
Snoop, but
Yeah,
yeah,
did that, and before that there was stained glass windows, and before that there was Rome, and then they killed Jesus, and before that there was pyramids. And then that's it. And you're like,
right.
there we go, that's it. And it's like that's probably not it at all.
Right. Right.
There's something that's been masquerading behind these different nations, and it's probably played a part in their rise and fall.
I agree. Yes. Yeah. I think it honestly really does come down to cult stuff, and it doesn't really matter if they believe it or not, or if it's real spiritual entities, or if it's just a kind of a religion slash taboo club that's kind of molded the thought process. Either one, it ends up with the same result, but it does look a lot like it comes back to that, like the old gods of the Middle East and shit. You see these themes pop up the same way you see pyramids pop up and shit like that, or was it is the Egyptian pyramids that are directly in the center of the prime meridian, and yeah, you're like, hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
But it's these recurring themes of especially Middle East, Moloch, Baal, that occur almost the same way in almost every civilization, but they just keep, they keep coming back. And yeah, it is fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Like these, like the exorcism of Emily Rose, the priest's like, name yourself. And it's like seven demons or something. I watched
Mhm.
that movie by myself in a frat house in fall 2010. It was like a holiday weekend. Everyone had gone home but me. So like campus was empty and I don't know why. And I sat in a chair in the middle of a room in the frat house with all of the lights off and I ate a pot brownie.
Oh,
I to this day I don't know why I did that. I don't really like pot and I don't like scary movies.
you just thought you put those together. That's
It's just this like, see what happens. I'm still a little scarred from it. Like it's been 13 years and I'm still like I can't. But anyway, in that moment of sheer terror, when she's like screaming and she like names the demons inside of her, she's naming demons behind figures going back like 2,000 years or like 3,000 years. And it's like, it's like, well, it's like I am whatever, which the corrupted like Hitler or something. And then it's like, and then I am, what, and back to like kings, and then it's like, and I am like that which like took over Nero, and she's like, and she's saying it in the languages of each like, so she's like speaking German, and then she's like speaking or Greek or something. It's like, and she's like screaming and she's like getting up to the worst and worst ones, and she's like, and I am Judas who like betrayed Christ, and then finally, and she's like, and I am Lucifer in the flesh or something, and then I don't know. The priest is like, get fucked, Christ life, and then it ends, whatever. And he's just wearing Yeezys and he dabs for God. I don't know how it ends. I think I blacked out from fear. Point is this is like those do seem to go back forever. And I always come to the occult thing because like it's no longer a hypothesis,
right.
right? There's like spirit cooking in the 2016 election when those emails
Oh,
came out, and it's like, yeah, you mix titty milk with semen and blood, and it's like, ah,
this shit, this shit really would have sounded crazy fucking 10 years ago. All of a sudden, it was like on Front Street. You're like, I thought this was some 80s movie bullshit. Like,
I thought
like,
it had to be a psyop, and then you see like the fucking photos of like, no,
okay,
it's a mock sacrifice at a party where we have a cake that is like indistinguishable from a woman covered in blood in a bathtub, and you're like, you ever seen those where they make cakes and it is
yeah, fuck yes,
and they're
yes.
covered in like red syrup, and you're like,
Well, how about the ones that have come out recently, like the Valencia ads? I think it was Valencia, it was a brand of
oh
clothing.
yeah,
I mean, you're talking like fucking $5 million.
symbolism, like a 3-year-old with like one hand over their eye, and they're like
Yeah,
holding up like,
yeah. You're like, whoa, fucking hold on. Like this is not slipping one by the censors either. Like this is a fucking ass load of money you got to spend on every second of this.
yes. So then you start going, at some level, I'm sure it is the edgy celebrity
Yeah.
That's always there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if someone wears a crazy suit to the Grammys, they could very well just be a fucking superstar who's like covered in whatever. It's
Yeah.
whatever. The ones that are really high up and do that shit, they don't. These are people that don't expend energy for no reason. They don't. They don't go to meetings for no reason. They don't show up to board. They're either at the World Economic Forum or like the UN or the Pent. Like they don't show up to their kids' soccer game. So if they're just like out in the woods in a robe near a statue of Moloch,
Right. Hypothetically.
well, not even provably on video from Alex
Right.
Jones, or there's just a temple on an island.
Right.
Man, there's something to that, and these are people that are hyper obsessed with technology and transhumanism, and so you have to start going, what are they getting from this? Is
Yeah.
there, I mean, just suspend disbelief for a minute. If the people that have run the world for the last 2,000 years are also the people that pray to like demons, hey man, if Tom Brady tells you to do a certain stretch, you do the stretch. You're like, hey man, this guy's got 7 Super Bowl rings. Like, if he's like, you need to do this, I'm not critiquing it. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, like that's the thing. That's how you do it.
they've run the world for fucking 2 millennia, and they go, and you got to sacrifice like a baby to this god. I mean, is there like an off-world intel? It doesn't necessarily have to be a demon. It could just be, I don't know, it could be AI, it could be an alien life form.
Yeah, pick one. Yeah.
Whatever you want. The effect is the same.
Right.
I mean, is there something there?
That's what I keep coming back to. And yeah, something is shaping this, is how it looks.
Yeah. Which then, and I think that I guess for me is when I look at that, that's horrifying. But then does that not imply the opposite?
Exactly.
Does that not imply God? Does that not imply angels and saints?
Exactly. And that's how I came to it too. I think that's true for a lot of people. It's easier to find the darkness and the fucking evil, and then you got to go like, oh shit, like I hope we're not just out here with these. Like, all right, here we go.
All right,
Like,
Moloch.
right, right. It does imply that there's another side. Fucking hope there is.
Yeah.
But it does imply that there is one, and you start looking for that as well.
Well, you don't even need a hope. It's the implication is
Right.
you cannot have up without down. You cannot have wet without dry. It's the very
Right.
implication of something defines that there are others. If everyone looked like me, I wouldn't be white. I would just be a human.
Right.
But the fact that
But
there are black people and tan people and fucking whatever, tall people, short people, fat people, that
and
very label defines the other.
you can even come to this conclusion too. If there was just the evil entities, like we would already live in hell, like literal fucking hell. Like, kids getting sacrificed on the fucking street corner in front of your house, kind of as you
Yeah.
were beaten with a whip on your way to,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there has to be a counterbalance to that somewhere.
And they wouldn't hide it.
Right.
Why would they hide it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just like the old, what if vampires were fucking real? Like, but they were known, like, they just be out there fucking suck people's blood. Like, fuck off. Like, they're hyper powerful and shit. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just be that. It would just be just looking and be like, yeah, no, there's this. I mean, we already kind of do it with like sharks. You're like, yeah, just don't go in the ocean. That's kind of their domain. Like,
Yeah, right. Like, they will kick your ass and
I know we run the planet with fucking surveillance and the Pentagon, but I think we all agree, just like don't go into the ocean.
right.
There are these dinosaurs that just eat everything.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's already there.
Right.
So there's one more step. I guess we'll end on a very light note. Key and Peele, the comedians, there's some bit where they're vampires, and one guy goes, "I got bit on purpose. I just wanted to live forever to see future cars." I mean, are they gonna like run on magnets? That's the bit. I just bit so I could live forever, just so I could see future cars. And I'm like, that. He's like, I will.
Suck it up.
So I got bit forever, so I can see future cars. Are they gonna be magnets? Are they gonna be drive themselves? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what this podcast was. I never know what I'm doing. Luckily, Clay dances the dance with me. Most people would have told me to stop recording and told me to stop talking to them if I'd brought up a quarter of the shit I brought up. But Clay, for whatever reason, keeps wandering back like a lost puppy. He accepts my invites. He listens to the siren call and he comes crashing upon my shores. Um, yeah, guys, go in the description, buy his books, buy Prairie Fire, buy Concrete Jungle. If you're gonna only buy one, buy Wrath of the Wendigo. It's genuinely a fantastic fucking. I can't fake excitement. I genuinely love that book. It's you put into words what I think a lot of us feel. And yeah, go follow him on Twitter. I don't know. Go give Clay money. Just fucking give him money.
I'm cute.
Don't even,
I need to fund my Whitehead Army.
yeah, he has to. This isn't cheap, man. We got to put those leg bracelets on everybody.
You know what Navy SEAL Delta Force guys cost these days? It's
You
fucking
know how
expensive.
much it costs to fucking run ops, man? Patriots are in control. I hope that you and I have to do a public apology episode one
Me
day.
too. We'll make it'll be like a 3 hour special.
I would love that.
Me too.
I would
Fuck yeah.
absolutely love
It'd be
that.
all week long. Like, man, remember when I said like that was fuck, man? I was wrong, bro. I was wrong.
It's just sitting there and like I'll text you. I'll be like, did you? Be like, yeah, I saw it. And we're just like looking at the news as like Fauci's getting hung and like their 5-star generals there.
From the Washington Monument, like they built a scaffolding all the way to the top. Like, holy shit!
We
Yeah,
see Xi Jinping and Putin and Trump all like sitting around a table.
in the White House, hanging out.
Yeah. And we're
It's the
just like,
secret White House in Kansas. Yeah,
wherever. And we're just like, huh,
son of a bitch.
fucking would I be bored then? There'd be no conspiracies left.
I know, right?
They'd be like, so here's how it is. Like there is an
Give
evil.
him a thumbs up. She's actually part of the team. She's a deep spy. Like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
no, they'd be like, yeah, so there's are these dark entities from off worlds, but we have been, in cohorts with Christ. The people of light have won, and we've now we're going to explore the universe in peace.
We sent Eisenhower to fuck him to death on the moon. He did it.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, just
I don't know
going.
what I don't know what I would do.
Yeah,
I think I'd just wrap up the podcast.
right.
Like this
Right.
is over.
Right. Be like, oh, big man. Fuck it, man.
I'd probably just start doing heroin. Like fuck this shit. Fuck this gay earth. Um. Anyways, I don't know if this is a good advertisement for Clay or not. I really don't give a shit, guys. Go buy Clay's book. Go buy his Clay. Just go buy it. Unsubscribe from my podcast and go follow Clay on Twitter. Really show some fucking solidarity with Clay. Throw me overboard and go join his cult. Throw me under the table and go join a higher power. That is Clay Martin. All right. Don't be a fucking pussy. I dare you to unsubscribe. Unsubscribe, pussy. Why isn't my podcast growing? Well, Tommy,
Some of the guys are going to sponsor you, just X you off the list. Like,
they're like,
fuck.
yeah, no, not Tommy. We'll look at the other one. Is that the guy? That's that guy? Yeah, no, we're not going to do it. They just tune in real. Let's just check him out real quick. Do you think they're just fucking kids to death under the Vatican? Not him. Next. What am I fucking doing? Clay, we got to wrap this one up. I got another podcast in a couple of minutes, and I got to start acting like a normal human being for that one. So,
All right, brother. I appreciate it again, man.
yeah, man, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure. Guys, please go into the description. Please go buy his books. Go follow him on Twitter. And until next time, Clay, thanks so much, man.